Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital and welcome to this new special video in which we will do a full review on Streamflow and their Stream token. Now, first of all, before we get into the video, let's talk about why you should care about Stream, all right? Because personally, I'm working together with the team on this video, but I think it's a major opportunity. First of all, it's a low market cap coin, right? So if you take a look at Stream, I think at this point in time, it has a market cap of $4.6 million. I would consider that low, all right? There's rarely any coins at this point of time that have a market cap like that. And most coins right now that actually have no utility and make no money are launching at several hundreds of millions of dollars. While Stream and Streamflow with their platform, which we'll talk about in a moment, as well, of course, we will talk about that in depth, so you actually know what we're talking about and you actually know what Streamflow and their token are about. But they're making real money. They're making millions of dollars a year with their platform. I personally, before I knew the team behind Streamflow, I already used this platform. All right, I've seed invested in a lot of projects. I've gotten airdrops through this platform. All right, they have a real business. They provide a platform with real utility, which is personally, and I think the same applies to you. Personally, that's something I really care about and I value a lot. And then outside of that, but again, we will talk about that, thoroughly in this video. They have a strong backing, as you can see briefly right here, but we'll talk about that in a moment. So let's get right into it. Now, first of all, a quick disclaimer. I did buy the Stream token, all right? Just so you know, you can buy it through multiple venues. I bought some through Meteora, right? So that's basically a DEX. But you can buy it on Bybit, Gate.io, Maxi, and KuCoin as well. Because if you compare, and we'll talk about this in a moment, and I staked my tokens as well. I'll leave all the links down in the description so you actually will be able to access all the pages that I will show in this video. I bought and staked Streamflow. The key reason for that is, and like I said, I'll talk about that data at the end of the video, but the key is that when you're talking about revenue, right, so how much revenue a project makes, and then the market cap of their main token, and when they're actually using that revenue to buy back tokens, which Streamflow is doing, Streamflow has one of the lowest market cap to revenue ratios, right? So if you talk about Hyperliquid, for example, they're making a lot of money, but the market cap to revenue ratio is actually much higher than for Streamflow. Like for Streamflow, the yearly revenue they make and pay out to Stream holders is actually very close to the market cap, which makes it incredibly undervalued in my opinion. But ultimately, look, that's something you have to research for yourself as well, right? But I'll show you some data at the end of the video. First, let's talk about the platform. What is Streamflow, right? Because I'm talking about Streamflow right now. I'm talking about the money that they're making. I'm talking about I used it. I'm talking about the token. But what is it? All right, so here you can see their platform. Now, hopefully you can see it a little bit. I will delete myself right here so you can see the full platform. I connected one of my wallets so I can show it completely. But basically what Streamflow is it's a platform that provides developer kits and developer tools and in general services to projects. All right, so projects mainly on Solana. For example, they've worked together with Radium, Wormhole, Bonk, IO.net. Like these are major projects, right? They're major, and they facilitate a couple of things. So first of all, locks, all right? So they can actually lock tokens until a certain price target is hit or a certain time, but the time is vesting, right? So if you have a major project that wants to distribute tokens in a timely manner, they can use the already made developer kit and the services of Streamflow. It makes it very easy and they're good to work with as well. They facilitate airdrops, right? So they take away all of the work that comes with that. They provide staking services, so not only not for their own token, even though you can stake that as well, but also for other projects and their tokens. They do payments, and right now they ventured into escrow services and more services for your own Solana wallets, right? So a dust collector and a Sybil checker. So in general, a lot of different services, mainly aimed towards projects that want to do something with either their team or their community. But like I said, it's actually being used. All right, this platform is being used. I've personally used it for several projects that I've invested in the last 2 years or so. So it's actually being used by projects, by serious projects. In the space. So that's great. All right, you don't have this very often, where you have a token with a low market cap with a platform behind it that's actually valuable and that actually provides utility. But okay, so outside of that, like I said, they have some strong backing as well. You can see they have backing by Jump Crypto, Solana Ventures, the Ember Group. Those are some major venture capital, some major backers. Also John Lillich, which is who's a legend in the space. He's an early, not only Bitcoin investor, but also a Bitcoin, adopter. And promoter, I would argue, and he's great, and he's also invested in multiple successful crypto projects. Also a lead investor in Streamflow. They raised more money last year. Great news, right? Allows for more runway, but also I believe he's part of the board and an advisor for the project as well. So that's great. And the team that's specifically working on Streamflow has also been already for a couple of years working hard building this successful platform. So it's not only a platform and a protocol that's making money, it actually has some solid backing in terms of investors and a team as well. Now let's get to the data. The data, in my opinion, is most important, and for that we will use the dashboard that Streamflow themselves have made. Now I will leave the links to this in the description as well. Right now they have a protocol TVL, so that's the TVL of the entire, of all the services of $1 billion. You have a staking APY of 26%, all right? So 26% yield on the token, assuming that there's no token price increase, all right? Which I would say, I'm not sure if you can make that assumption, but okay, so already a flat fee of 26% right now. And here you can see that out of the circulating supply of $136 million, by the way, market cap $4.6 million, very good to know as well. Out of the $136 million million tokens, my apologies, 42% is in of the circulation of the tokens in circulation is staked. Great talking right here. And they have a mechanism built in that the higher the percentage of tokens in circulation that is staked, the more of the revenue actually is distributed towards stream holders. And here you can see over the course of over this year, so they started in April. Since then, they've made a revenue of $1.16 million. So that's annualized to almost $2.5 million. And out of that, they've already bought back $136,000. But the more stream is being staked, and that's also why I staked the tokens I bought, the higher the percentage of the revenue that's being used for buybacks becomes, right? So it's actually, it's a bit of a positive flywheel with real revenue behind it in this case. And here you can see the staking activity that's also slowly but surely increasing, right? And then last but not least, I think in terms of the charts, like this is very much a project you buy for the fundamentals. Although if we look at the charts, it's closer to support than the resistance. And here you can see that data that I was talking about earlier. Make sure to pause the video if you're interested in this, but here you can see the Streamflow revenue, the market cap, and then the market cap to revenue ratio, which is extremely low compared to other projects, which in my opinion means, in this context means it's undervalued. All right. So summarizing, great platform, actually used with good backing, making money, distributing that money to the Stream token holders. And the Stream token itself at this point of time is relatively, objectively undervalued. I will leave all the links down in the description so you can check it for yourself. If you do want to buy, which ultimately is your own and should be your own decision, make sure to stake it. There's no downside to that. And you're not only getting yield yourself, but you're also helping other Stream stakers. That's it for now. Like I said, all the links will be down in the description. But for now, have a great day. Take care and bye.